Bringing law and order to this town of Fallujah is still job one for the U.S. military, but right behind it, job two is winning the hearts and minds of the Iraqis who live here. For Civilian Affairs Captain Alan Vaught, that's the job at the center of his plate every day.
When the people of Fallujah had no drinking water, I know they thought the Americans turned the water off, and we didn't turn the water off. The people now know that we're trying to help, that we're not turning the water off.
10 years of budget-busting war with Iran, followed by 12 years of economic sanctions after the first Gulf War, had left Iraq's water systems, power systems, all of the country's basic infrastructure, a patchwork mess waiting for disaster. Then came 3 weeks of bombing and battling, followed by a wave of looting and anarchy. And even in towns like Fallujah, favored by the Saddam regime, almost everything has to be rebuilt from the bottom up. This'll take time, and in the meanwhile, Captain Vaught must temporize and improvise.
Hopefully we'll get more resources. We need help from outside agencies like the Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, all these international organizations and non-governmental organizations. We want them to come here. We're afraid, though, it's almost like a cycle. The more the people shoot at us here, the less likely those agencies are to come. Tell them we're working on it, okay?
They continue to work.
The money will be coming. The money is not here yet.
I told them, be patient.
Yesterday I was told that instead of us paying, we want the Iraqi government to pay.
A frequent partner of Captain Vaught's is Fallujah's new mayor, recently elected by a group of community elders and leaders. But the mayor can also be a harsh critic of the Americans with whom he shares space at City Hall. The Americans have made a lot of mistakes, he says, like entering schools, breaking down doors for no reason when no one was preventing them from coming in. And those shootings back in April were completely unjustified. Now, he says, everything the American troops do is under suspicion. But his honor, like the American officers in charge of Fallujah, does see progress. And believe it or not, this is an example of it. This is only the second day that propane cooking gas has been available in Fallujah. Good news undercut, say many of the people online, by the greed of the Iraqi merchants selling the propane. Prices are up to 10 times their pre-war levels, leaving customers like this high school principal squeezed. His salary, which has not been paid since April 1st, is 26,000 dinars a month. That's about $22. One tank of propane is going for 4,000 dinars. How are you and your family living?
Well, then you can imagine how we are living nowadays. Of course, it will be very difficult.
The formula for American success in Iraq is really just force plus finesse. The hard part, of course, is finding the proper proportion of the two and making them both work. I'm Dave Maris for Nightline in Fallujah.